This is Resident Evil 4. We're doing a very cool comparison today. On the left we have the remake, on the right we have the remastered version. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well, as these videos are a ton of work to put together. So for this comparison, both of these are on the Xbox Series X with the remake. We are running the game with performance mode so that it looks nice and fluid, and then obviously the remastered version is just running as is. So the idea here for this particular comparison was sort of having the Resident Evil 4 Remake as the main component, since scenes are extended and expanded upon. So you're going to see kind of where they match and align to the best of my ability. Because you got to keep in mind that this is not a one-to-one offering. The spirit, the design, the concept, very much within the same, kind of sphere here, but they definitely expanded upon scenes in what I think is largely really good improvements upon the initial concept. It feels atmospheric, it feels like it is, again, within the spirit of that original concept, but they're just expanded upon. So you're going to see extended scenes where it's kind of, the remake going, just so you can kind of see how chronologically everything sort of lines up. But then you're also going to have the scenes that are lined up side by side, so you can see basically the big changes that have gone on between the remake and the remaster. But yeah, these cutscenes, they are completely different. I think the general gist of them comes across quite well. And actually, both versions, I think they kind of mean the same sort of thing in general, but the approach is definitely a lot different. I think the modern context of it for these cutscenes in regards to their direction, their angle, and everything like that kind of sets a more mysterious sort of mood, whereas I believe the original Resident Evil 4 a little bit more action-like, if that makes sense. Like, he's got the combat role and everything like that. Not to say they don't have the fun with it in the remake too, but a little bit more spooky, a little bit more atmospheric in how those particular scenes were handled, which I think is really, really interesting. And then you get this larger expansion within the house here, where you actually have to kind of explore it a little bit. Get a little bit of, puzzle type solving going on. It's a little bit more than just, kind of entering the house. It's a larger house. It feels like an actual place people kind of live in. As you'd be out the door going into the next area now, if this was the original version, but they kind of set it up so that they're more naturally able to kind of have you come in and do a big sort of chat piece that kind of introduces you to a bit of the background voice character that's sort of feeding you some intel and whatnot. So I think that's really, really interesting. Now, there is also a part later on where there's sort of the remaster takes over, and I think that was mostly because they kind of almost moved one sequence that happened before the bridge after the bridge, which is kind of how I was sort of looking at it with how it all lined up. So I thought that was intriguing, because again, the idea with this comparison is that you can see the remake as the backbone and then kind of see how the remaster sort of, or that original version kind of slides into the different parts of the remake. It's really, really quite interesting, at least I think so, to see this sort of generational improvement, or these multiple generational improvements to this game, and how the technology today actually really, really improves, something that we've enjoyed in the past. And it's just utterly fascinating to see that all kind of in action here and see it all play out. And yeah, that's kind of the big goal here, was to see the changes between the versions and also give you the context of how the remake is moving along. And I think that's really, really quite interesting, especially again with the remaster sort of having its own spot, and the whole freeing the dog, and maybe it's some kind of secret thing in the remake and I didn't quite get. I'm not sure. There's also interesting town type segments, because the town is sort of survive in this area. So I tried to line that all up with different locations and buildings so you can get a feel for that one. But anyways, I don't have more details to add. It's shaping up to be a really, really cool remaking of this classic Resident Evil game. And I hope you found this comparison to be intriguing, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the action as you see the scenes line up and you see the action, the horror, and the terror continue.
Bruce, this is Condor 1. Hunnigan here. What's your sit rep?
President's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
Our intel was correct then. Well done.
Need a location on a nearby lake. She may have been taken there.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
Hurry up. Something's happened to the people here. My escorts are... Gotta go. Talk later. I'll let myself out.
¡Un forastero! ¡Te voy a hacer picadillo! ¡Os voy a romper a pedazos! ¡Un forastero! ¡Seguidle! ¡Hombre! ¡Todas! ¡Detrás de ti, imbécil! ¡Qué demonio! ¡Detrás de ti, imbécil! ¡Maldito cerdo! ¡Puedo caminar!
for you. You gotta be kidding me! Sorry. Huh?
La campana. Hay que obedecerla.
Él nos invoca. Tenemos que servir. Al Lord Sattler Todopoderoso.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?